What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday evening. So, Beyonce has done it again, y'all. She makes history with her country tour, Cowboy Carter, being the highest grossing country tour in history. I'm so proud of her, earning over $400 million. So right here in the bottom right, it says, of course, it says the biggest tour of 2025. It says the fastest tour in history to gross over $100 million with 9 shows, the highest grossing single venue engagement by a female artist in history, earning 55.7 million from 5 shows at the Sophie Stadium, and the biggest box score of any artist um, in the Soldier Field history, grossing 42.5 million from just 3 shows in Chicago. So shout out to Beyonce. She definitely she said that she was working on this album ever since, you guys remember, she came on stage with the Dixie Chicks and CMA Country Music Awards. They, for whatever reason, she was singing, Daddy Lessons, and there was a whole lot of haters in the audience as well. But what struck me, and I'm sure what struck her and others, was that her and the Dixie Chicks were scrubbed from their social media. Like, they made it appear as if she had never even, come um, to perform with the Dixie Chicks. And the Dixie Chicks has gotten a lot of backlash over the span of their career, just from calling out George Bush, and then of course um, even inviting Beyonce was seen as something that was a negative. Which, I'm a fan of Beyonce. I think that she is one of the most innovative, creative, hardest working entertainers in our lifetime. And so, just to see the the trajectory of her career has been amazing. And, so she said as soon as she left that stage, she said she started to go to work. One of my favorite lines from her is, always be gracious, best revenge is your paper. And that's exactly what Mrs. Carter did. She went to work on Cowboy Carter. So, as we know, that's Act Two, following Renaissance. But the fact that this was the album that won her artist of the year, and then split the Grammys, where they had a traditional and now a contemporary country, which categories. They've never had that before. So she's causing all this conversation, as she always likes to say. Um, Shout out to Solange in the elevator, but Cowboy Carter, is just history making. I feel like everything that she touches turns to gold, in spite of so many people, hating on her success, from Formation to, Cowboy Carter. And I cannot wait till Act Three. So the buzz is that, it's going to be a rock album. And if so, I would love that, because even with Cowboy Carter, not only did she make history with this biggest tour, and of course that being her album of the year, which in my opinion is long overdue, but also, she brought out Shabuzi. She, reunited Destiny's Child on her last show in Vegas. But she put so many, artists on. She's helped the economies in every single city that she went on through the Chitlin circuit. Shout out to that, which of course we know that back in the times where it was segregated, a lot of Black performers couldn't perform in mainstream arenas, so they created the Chitlin circuit. And I mean, that's literally how, Tyler Perry with his plays before he became mainstream. He created a lot of Medea plays on the Chitlin circuit. A lot of Black artists have gotten their start there. So for, Beyonce to do a callback to that, she's also providing a history lesson for those who pay attention. But let's go ahead and talk about her history making tour. So it says the Cowboy Carter tour concluded in Las Vegas. Um, it's the highest grossing country tour, earning over $400 million. And it's the highest grossing country tour, music tour ever in history. Um, so it grossed 400 million in just 32 dates, making it the shortest tour to reach this milestone. And the final show featured surprise appearances from Destiny Child, Jay Z, and Shabuzi. And she also brought out her husband when she was in Paris, and that blew up. Of course, he sung N words in Paris, and everybody um, was having an amazing time over there. So shout out to everybody in Paris. The Beyonce Knowles Carter concluded her groundbreaking Cowboy Carter tour, um, and she took her final bow on the rodeo chitlin circuit at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on July 26th. So the concert signaled the end of her Cowboy Carter era with a 32 stop stadium tour that spanned the US and Europe. The nine-city stint grossed over $400 million with attendance of over 1.5 million in the 3 month run, according to Live Nation. Billboard reported that Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour is the highest grossing country tour of all time and the shortest tour of any genre to make over $400 million. Because with Beyonce, it don't take her all day to get it done. She comes in, she makes her money. But like I said, she's consistently a hard worker. She's somebody who, in Diva, when she says, since 15 in the stilettos, been strutting in this game. Like, she's been out here, even before that, with Girls Time, when they were on Star Search with Ed McMahon. But she has been consistently working and performing and putting out music since she was a teenager. And so just to see her children, shout out to Blue Ivy and Rumi, being on the stage and performing with her is amazing, right? To see her pass that torch. And both of their parents, Rumi and Blue, are amazing megastars. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do in their career. If they decide to stay in the music industry, it'll be amazing. Beyonce extended her record as the highest grossing Black artist of all time and the highest grossing R&B artist of all time with her Cowboy Carter tour. She also becomes the first woman and the first American act to have two separate tours gross over $400 million. Billboard reported that Coldplay, Ed Sheeran, and the Rolling Stones are the only other acts that have accomplished this feat. So Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour Act 1 reportedly grossed over $580 million in 2023. As fans know, Beyonce first debuted the highly anticipated show at the Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles on April 28th with 39 songs on the set list. The tour proved to be a revolutionary spectacle filled with fashion, different music genres, and most notably country music and cultural commentary as she challenged industry norms. The megastar first released her eighth studio album, Cowboy Carter, in March of 2024. It has since made history and broken multiple records. As Beyonce's first country album, she deliberately featured country legends and emerging Black country artists alike. And I absolutely love that, right? Because contrary to popular belief, country music is a Black genre. Black people created country. I think we created almost every musical genre under the sun, with the exception of polka. You guys can fact check me on that in the comment section. But I mean, we created rock and roll, we created, rap, hip hop, jazz, blues, country, you name it, right? And so I know the Grammys is in a hissy fit, splitting the country music genre now after she won to contemporary and slash traditional. But we have both. We have artists in both. We're the originators and founders of both. Um, and so shout out to Beyonce. Every single city that she visited, a lot of the local shop owners would say that they were, their cowboy merchandise would just sell out, right? The boots, the hats, the belts, all that good stuff. So they would have, just this economy boost. wherever she went. And so I just love to see that, right? She doesn't just help, her fans through entertainment, but she also helps the local economy as well. And just to, put other artists on that people might not have known about. Shabuzi, I love the fact that he was on stage with her. I would love, love, love to see a Destiny's Child reunion. And even, of course, I love Michelle and Kelly, but bring back all five members, or even Farrah, right? Have all six. I would love a DC 5 or a DC 6 album. I don't think that Farrah's going to be invited back, even though I would love that, just because of how she left, and Beyonce told her, that she should leave in her luggage. Shout out to Farrah's luggage. And I don't know, right? Because now the ladies are like in their 40s. Hopefully, any kind of bad blood or teenage, foolishness and shenanigans could be, um, under the water and the bridge and just put to rest. We'll see, though, right? We'll see. But if she did after Act 3, and who knows, maybe Act 3 is a DC reunion, because she did bring out Kelly and Michelle on her, closing act of Vegas in that night too. So who knows? But I would love to see a Destiny's Child reunion before she retires. But like I said, we'll see. But I mean, people who Beyonce started out with, like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, and you know what I mean, like those ladies they've been retired. I mean, I haven't heard any new music from them in a while, and those are her peers, right? But I mean, shout out to Mariah Carey. I mean, she's still putting out new music. She just dropped MC 16, and Christmas is her season. But most people that Beyonce grew up with have not had the longevity in their career that she has had. Like she's constantly recreating herself, just transitioning from R&B and to country and rock and whatever genre that she wants to pursue. I'm here for it because she's an innovator. And so congratulations to Beyonce and everybody who worked hard on the Cowboy Carter tour. I can't wait till Act 3. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.